Hello, and a very warm welcome to yet another episode of the We Talk Talent series. Those who have been following us know that the We Talk Talent series is a special initiative by the Economic Times HR World, where we interview senior HR leaders about the latest trends in the human resource management space. And I'm very delighted to welcome today's guest with us, Ms. Deepti Varma, Director HR for Amazon in APAC and Middle East. Welcome, Deepti.
Thank you so much. My pleasure to be here with you today.
The pleasure is all ours. Everybody knows Deepti and her experiences, but still, I'm going to go ahead with a little bit introduction about her. She has been working with Amazon for past 11 years, and prior to joining Amazon, Deepti worked with Dr. Reddy's Laboratories, where she was heading corporate HR and talent acquisition globally. With over 25 years of experience, she has been associated with diverse industries such as e-commerce, IT, pharmaceuticals, and manufacturing industries, and has had significant global exposure to all facets of HR and organizational effectiveness. Dipti is an active member of multiple women in leadership forums and is passionate about diversity and inclusion, where she has bootstrapped multiple innovative and scalable initiatives across different organizations. So, Deepti, with your kind of experience and the kind of work you have done for in your field, we would like you to throw some light on how the workplace has changed so much and how it has affected the employer branding aspects of the workplace. Since we have all been through some tremendous amount of changes in the past few years. So, if you can throw some light on that.
Yeah, sure. Thank you so much. And firstly, really happy to be here, part of this forum, and really excited to talk to you today. COVID has changed a lot of reality for many employees as well as employers. And what has changed for Amazon is that for us, it is important for us to focus on being the earth best employer and creating a safe place for all our employees. In fact, early on also, we used to focus on leadership principles which talked about, giving ownership, building, a workplace which is safe for our employees. But last 2 years, we've started focusing on yet another leadership principle called being the earth best employer, where we say that psychological safety is one of the most important things for us to focus on. And through this, what we are doing is we have focused on three different aspects. First is to create an environment which is safe, more productive, higher performing, more diverse. Second, we want to focus on managers leading with empathy, making work fun so that people really enjoy. And third is growing our employees, which is empowering our employees to, really grow in whatever work they do. With that, what we are trying to do is make every day better for our employees. And this basically means is that we will focus on day-to-day experiences which can be really improved for our employees. For doing that, just a small example that I can take is that we have a tool called Connection, which helps us to understand how employee is feeling, what kind of experiences they are having. This is a tool that pops up a question every day on your laptop, and it gives you questions which you answer on a daily basis. So what we as HR team or as leaders, we do, we look at those questions and we look at what the employee is responding, and on a real-time basis make changes so that we are able to create an environment which is not just safe, more productive, and an environment where people can flourish. In fact, that also during COVID gave us a lot of sense about where we should navigate our energies towards. Like, I'll give you an example. We realized that when people were, joining virtually, there were a lot of times people were not having a great experience because people were, joining from different parts of India. And then we actually used Alexa to onboard our employees. So we started, working and saying that, okay, if there are day-to-day queries that we could answer for an employee, what could those be? And then we started leveraging Alexa, and it really helped us because it made it simple, it made it scalable, and employees was not dependent on another fellow being to answer, day-to-day queries. So our whole brand is now focus towards bringing, offering flexibility, making leaders decide what they would like to do, but at the same time trying to, basically give them the empowerment that they need in order to, feel the psychological safety in order to perform well at work.
Yeah, those are some great initiative, and Amazon being the trendsetter in their industry itself. So I'm sure these initiatives have taken a lot of impact on the workforce as well. So with that, I would like to ask you, since you also mentioned that you have been focusing on getting more diversity in your workforce, and we all know how much work you have done and how much passionate you are about diversity and inclusion aspects. So if you could share a few initiatives with us that the Amazon is taking.
Sure, but before I answer that question, I do want to call out what diversity means to us. A lot of times diversity is used as a synonym for just gender, and at Amazon, we feel it is not just gender. It is, basically race, ethnicity, gender, sexual orientation, age, social class, physical ability, region, language, veteran status. All that for us, actually is diversity. And personally, if you ask me, I feel diversity is also, unique perspective that each individual brings to the table. For us, it is not just, creating a diverse workforce, but also, looking at how we could be more inclusive across the globe and, look at diverse perspective and, bring into the forefront. One of the definitions that we have, which is part of our leadership principle, is do leader listen to the diverse perspective and change their opinion basis what they have heard. A lot of times we see things around and we say, yes, this is different, but we still go on doing what we are doing. And as Jeff used to say, that, a good leader is someone who listens to diverse perspective and then changes their perspective basis what. So a lot of initiatives have been taken. While I can go on and talk about the gender, PWD, LGBTQ, but before I do that, I wanted to talk to you about, we are today working in a very remote setup. You will see that some people are able to speak very naturally. Some people are not able to speak so naturally. So your ability in a virtual setup to get different people's voice heard and get that to the forefront is something which is most important. And, obviously, initially, people did not realize that that was so important. But now that, the world is shrinking, you're talking to people from across the globe, I think that becomes a very important thing. And at Amazon, we get trained as to how do you, listen to those diverse perspectives. Of course, like many organizations, Amazon has also been doing a lot of good work with respect to, gender and PWD, LGBTQ, and so veteran and so on and so forth. And I can certainly talk about few of them. You all know about the Rekindle initiative, where we had, provided a launch pad for women who have taken a break to come back and join Amazon. In fact, during COVID, we realized a lot of women had lost their jobs and they were sitting at home, and we thought we should, use that initiative to help them to come back to the mainframe. And, we've hired more than 100 plus women through this program. We also realized that, just at a middle management level, women are going through different stages of life and it gets difficult to balance their life. And so we started a program called Pinnacle, where we said, how do we empower the women to take the right decisions and not, give up and be able to manage and be able to, have the harmony between the work and the life so that they don't feel like giving up. We also realized that, in technology, women percentage is relatively less, and we thought it is important for us to start at the grassroots level. So we actually invested in something called as Amazon Wow, which is a women engineering program where we go to college, where we've opened it up to engineering women students who can, actually come interact with leaders, get, mentoring from them, improve their essential skills so that they can, actually have a long-term career at Amazon. And we've been able to attract many women engineering students through this program. Of course, there is a lot in media about our all women delivery stations, silent delivery stations, which have been, run by people who are, speech and hearing impairment kind of people. We've also have, done work with the transgender community. And of course, military veteran is something that we really focus on hiring, because we feel that there is a lot of talent which is available there, and we should continue to make the best use of it. And we've had some people who've been in the leadership positions who've come from the armed forces. Apart from that, we also felt that it is important for us to start some affinity groups and come up with programs that can support these diverse set of people to feel comfortable at Amazon. And once they come in, we have a lot of programs to amplify in order to make them feel comfortable at Amazon.
Thank you, Dipti. You have painted a very holistic picture of what the diversity really means, and those are some great initiatives that Amazon is taking in those directions. Yeah. So, as you also mentioned that now that we are working on mostly remote and hybrid culture, there has been a lot of focus on how to understand each other, basically the communication and soft skill part. So with that, I would like to ask you, how do you see the importance of soft skills evolving in future, since it has put in a lot of focus, especially during the COVID, on the soft skill aspects?
Yeah, I think much before COVID, also Amazon always, focuses a lot on soft skill. All of us actually who hire for Amazon go through something called as a making great hire decision. So even if you have been interviewing in your previous company, we say that you should learn the art of interviewing at Amazon, because for us it is not just the skill set that you hire for, because skills can be, you can always teach a person the skills, but the software aspect is something that it is very important for us. So we actually, when we interview a person, we ask the question, will this person be culturally aligned to Amazon culture? Because for us it is so important for a person to identify themselves with the culture, because we stand for our culture. And as you would have heard, everybody keeps saying it's still day one. So it is about having the butterfly in your stomach, having that spirit of I'm the owner of the company and I should take risk, I should learn from our failures, we should think big, we should work backward from the customer mindset, is some of the things which are so ingrained. So for us, software aspect is something that we always focus on. I think it became all the more important during COVID, because I'll be honest, one of the things that we started focusing on was how do we lead with empathy. And when COVID actually started, a lot of companies were focusing on managers are supposed to be doing this, managers are supposed to be doing that, and we took a step back and said managers are also employees, and they would be going through so much every day. Before we are expecting managers to do A, B, and C, let's just understand as to how do we help them to lead with empathy, and they themselves would be going through so many things. So what are we doing in order to create that psychological safety for them so that they are able to operate in the best possible manner? So I think we actually have been doing a lot of sessions to demystify what it means to basically lead with empathy. And we also have been focusing a lot on how do you build the day one culture, because when you are back in the office, you're just walking in the corridors, you get trained through your leaders and so on and so forth, just looking at them, walking around them, listening to them. You don't have that luxury when you are having a hybrid kind of a workplace. So it's all the more important for us to double down on, building these soft skills, helping people understand how important it is to build the day one mindset and, focusing on our culture.
Yeah, this day one mindset is sounds really exciting actually to hear about that to staying as much as excited every day of your job, just like you were on the first day of your job. So that's really great. So with that, yeah.
In fact, I will tell you one thing, that I'm now 11th. I just completed 11th year at Amazon, and someone asked me, how are you feeling? And I said, it is like butterfly on my stomach. I'm still at the edge of my chair trying to learn new things, and there's so many things that you need to learn. That thing that brings you, wakes you up every morning to say, "Oh, I have to learn so many new things." That spirit, we all look forward to, because that's what Day One Spirit is all about, where we raise the bar, we continuously learn, work backward from our customers.
And that's so great that you think like that and try to work towards building a culture like that. It's really great to hear. So with that, I would like to ask you my last question. So now that the new generation is coming in the workplace, so I'm talking about the Gen Z, and their expectation from work and work culture has been quite different from what the previous generation used to have. So, if you could share, how do you see their expectation differ from the previous generation, and what Amazon is doing to make the to give them those asks they have from the workplace?
Sure. I think every generation actually learns from the newer generation and vice versa. I'll be honest. I read one article on LinkedIn which said that if you're over 40, you should have a mentor who is under 20, and if you're under 20, you should have a mentor who's over 40. So it's learning both ways. But if you look at the mindset of people who are from the newer generation, I think one of the things is they need something which is quick, intuitive, simple, scalable. And I think we need to have that kind of a mindset when we are trying to design different programs or different things. Like if today you have to go and use Amazon site to shop, no one teaches you as to how do you go and shop at Amazon. It's intuitive, it's simple, it is scalable. I think for them it is same, that when you are trying to get them to work, it needs to be simple, scalable, intuitive, and you have to empower them. And that's what Amazon loves to do, where they say that come and join us as if this is your own company. Take risk as if this is your own company. And if you fail, there is no problem. We learn from our failures. And I think that's what excites all the people to come and work. And that's why we feel that we are able to attract so many people, because that's what our leadership principle stands for. I will also be honest, one of the things that one of our leadership principle is also about learn and be curious. One of the other things that the newer generation is actually looking forward is for us to make sure that they are able to experiment and fail fast. In fact, one of the things that we've been focused on continuously is how do we make it, make opportunities for people who come in so that they are able to experiment. In fact, when we hire people from campus and the projects that we give to them are not something which is theoretical, we say go experiment, do the things that you want to, fail fast, and do the live experiments so that you get the experience. And I think that's the reason why people love to work for Amazon, because they feel it's not just theoretical, it is something that let them experiment and think big at the same time. So I think we learn a lot from them, and they learn a lot from people who are veterans at Amazon.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much, Deepti, for sharing all your insights with us today. It was a pleasure hosting you.
Thank you so much.